Hello, Kindred Spirits. Welcome back to Bits and Bob's Divination. My name is Caitlin, and today we are going to be looking into your month of May as well as for Taurus season to look into any energy, insights, and guidance on their way in for you. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright, so welcome back, my beautiful Kindred Spirits, and anyone new who may be joining us here today. It's wonderful to have you all here, and to those of you who are Tauruses out there, I just want to say a big happy birthday to all of you for Taurus season. As a Taurus myself, I'm actually going to be editing this video the day after my birthday, and it'll be going up here today on Monday. So I'm very excited to talk about Taurus season because as a Taurus myself, it's one of my favorites, and it just doubles the Taurus energy already in me. So I'm very excited, and I want to see what's coming in for each of you for Taurus season, but also for your month of May to just see what's coming in and keep tabs on the energy up and around you. But we're going to be looking into these three piles here in a moment, but let's go ahead and talk first about the different ways you could support this space if you'd like to. It really is very helpful, so definitely feel free to check out the Kindred tip jar if you'd like to. Everything that goes in there goes right back into the channel, so I really appreciate anything that comes in there. If you feel called to. And also, if you've ever been interested in getting your own private reading, I do private readings for snail mail readings where I send a reading to you in the mail. I typewrite it on a vintage typewriter. I put a lot of care and energy into any query or question that you have on your mind, and I send them to you so you can physically treasure them. And you can also check out the fun queer things that I have going on, and I'm cooking up behind the scenes for you. So I do made-to-order earrings, these rainbow earrings that can be customized to your specific flag or to be an ally and show your allyship as well. So if you're interested in any of those, as a queer person myself, I have so much fun and so much queer joy in creating those. So do feel free to check out all those offerings down below. But we're going to go ahead and look at these piles. So for each of the piles today, I did something a little bit different, and I was feeling like showcasing some sort of botanical, but not showing you the whole card until you get to your pile, or piles. So we're not going to really focus on each of these cards here, although you can look at them from afar. But we're going to look first here for pile number 1 with the crystal that you have here, which is Rhodonite. So this one has this pink tone to it with these slashes of grays and blacks. So that is pile number 1. For pile number 2 here, you have the crystal of rose quartz. So that is pile number 2. And then here for pile number 3, we have this piece of hematite or hematite. So that is pile number 3. So before you start heading off to the timestamps, I like to invite you to take a deep and cleansing breath here with me so we can really center in and ground your energy. So let's go ahead and take that deep cleansing breath here now. And as always, there's no right or wrong way to choose your piles here. You can choose all 3 of the piles. You can choose a pile, change your mind, flip-flop. There really are no rules here. All of the timestamps will be down below in the description alongside the chapter marks of this video. And as I mentioned earlier, if you want to send in any support, the Kindred tip jar is down below, as well as the different offerings for snail mail readings and rainbow earrings for Pride. So all of that will be down below alongside my Instagram. And yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it here with pile number 1. Hello group 1, if you've decided to choose this piece of rhodonite alongside the floral message of azalea, which is temperance with find balance and be centered, then this is the pile for you. Like I didn't say in the intro, this is the card that you ended up getting with temperance and find balance and be centered. So we're going to see if that shows up within your reading, the idea of temperance being not only an oracle card here, but also quite a prevalent major arcana card all about balance, which Taurus season in and of itself is about balance and taking your time and stability. So I really will be interested to see how both your Taurus season as well as the energy of May kind of combine for your pile. So we're going to leave this here, and we're going to be using charms here today, as well as several different oracle decks, 2 different tarot decks. I'm going to be using quite a few decks today. I just felt pulled to grab every deck basically. for whatever reason. So we're going to be using the same amount of cards, but we're going to be playing around with more decks. So if you're interested to see everything that I'm using here, it'll be down in the description down below. But yeah, feel free to get cozy, get settled, get nice and ready to go, as it is a season of Taurus season, which is all about feeling really cozy and comfy. But also May, right? So May is all about, here in the Northern Hemisphere, the blooming flowers, the blooming trees. Everything is just really ripe and ready to go, to get started on things and get things moving. There's this really beautiful change in the air, and just like things just coming back to life. So we want to see how that's starting to interact with your energy, and those in the Southern Hemisphere as well. Feel free to see how it's connecting with the seasons around you. But let's see, May as a month in and of itself, what are the main energies coming through for group 1 here? And do feel free to send your energy in through time and space. But group 1 here, what do you have coming in for the month of May and the main energies coming through? Okay, so we have the 8 of Stones, very much slow and steady, kind of wins the race energy, like we were talking about with Temperance. This is really interesting to get these together already just from the start, but I want to see what interacts with it, and we're going to see which way it goes. But the 8 of Stones definitely has that Temperance energy already a part of it, in the balance and focus needed to kind of get a task and something moving and rolling. Very consistently. It's very much about consistency. So I see consistency coming in for May for you already. We also have the 7 of Wands. Okay, so we have consistency, and then what I would say the 7 of Wands is kind of pushback, feeling like you might have some obstacles in your path that you're going to have to get around, kind of find another way through, or you're going to have maybe some creative blocks or things like that showing up in your path. I can see a little bit of possibly like stagnation, or feeling, maybe not even stagnation is the right word, more like boredom. Like I feel like you're getting things done, but maybe you're feeling a little bit bored about what you're doing and you want to add a little bit more creativity to it or change it around a little bit. We're going to talk more on how these go together when we get your final card here. So let's go ahead and pull that one. So the 7 of Wands and the 8 of Stones. Let's keep going. As always, feel free to send your energy in. It really does help me to be able to lock on to you all as we move through this. Okay, so let's see what has been revealed here. So we also have, the Empress. Oh, I love this card. It is one of the most beautiful cards that I feel like I even have this up on my wall with a little print of it, because it just really emanates that spring energy, the idea of what spring really is. And as we are in the height of spring during the May, both Taurus season and during May as a month, there's just really a lot of fertile energy going around, in the idea not only in nature where, everything's fertile to grow, but also within ourselves, right? We sometimes think of ourselves as other from nature, but really the rhythms of nature really come into our lives energetically as well, especially when we decide to connect to it and re-ground into nature. So I really see that coming in for you, nature being a big part, and or just the idea of like feeling this fertility within you, and just feeling like anything that you want to accomplish has really fertile soil, like energetically, for you to get it going, and get it blooming. That doesn't mean it's going to require no hard work, right? Because we do have the 8 of Stones here, and the 8 of Stones is all about hard work, or more so consistent work, right? Because this represents like, a pottery, or a potter here, and they have to put in a lot of time, energy, and focus to create each and every one of their creations. And they also get really good at it because they're very consistent and they're making and creating over and over again. Because of that, like I said, there can be that boredom element, and maybe that's why you might have some creative blocks showing up here. But I do think that you're probably going to breeze through those pretty quickly if you do have any blocks that come through, because the Empress energy is right next door, which is a very creative energy. Super creative, definitely knows how to get things moving and flowing again. So I really feel like you're going to have ebbs and flows this month creatively, and you might have moments of boredom or moments of like tediousy, or just feeling like, okay, I'm just doing the same things over and over. But I feel like you're going to get over any hump or any creative block that gets in your path, whether that's a writer's block, a creative block, a personal block, or otherwise, where you feel like there might be a setback even. I feel like you're gonna, even if you go 2 steps back, you're gonna leap 3 steps forward. So that's what I'm really getting for your energy so far. It's not really giving me specifically like if there's anything happening in career or if there's anything happening in home or family life. It doesn't feel directed towards any one thing. I feel like it's more of an overarching message of just being aware of the energies we talked about here. But we'll see if anything else shows up as we go. So now we're going to look into your blessing card, right? So you can see this as a blessing coming into your life from spirit guides, from gods, goddesses, from the universe, however you wish. Or you can also look at this card as just a tool that's going to really present itself to you and is going to be really in your favor this month. So an energetic tool in your favor. So let's see what is showing up for you for the month of May. Group 1. What do you got cooking here? Group 1. So let's see what flew into your path. Ooh, and it actually did fly because we have Grandmother Bumblebee, and it says completion here. Stop your worrying, nothing left for you to mine, buzz off, fly away. So this is making me think again, like there could be that tediousy, that feeling of doing the same thing over and over again. And maybe it's because whatever you are trying to get out of this, whatever it is, like whatever this pottery represents for you, whether that's some sort of repetitive habit that you've been doing in the past, or some sort of ritual, or just everyday thing in and out that you do daily that just no longer serves you or has come and completed its mission, has come into your life. It was a habit that was useful to you for a certain time and at a certain moment in your life, and now it's kind of finding its way out. And it's kind of that feeling that like, yeah, you got what you needed, and if you continue down the path of using it over and over and over again, it's just not going to work for you anymore. And unfortunately, sometimes we outgrow things and we go through the growing pains of that. And I feel like you might be going through some of those creative blocks because you're going through these growing pains of moving out of a habit or a ritual or a path that you've been down for quite a while. You feel comfy in it, you feel really good in it, it's done what it needs to do, and now things need to change up. Something needs to change there. And so we have that showing up here as completion. So this is a blessing to you, right? This is a tool in your path. This is a reminder that this is available to you. So definitely feel free to take it. So this is your ticket. This is like a little reminder for you to realize when there are things in your life that are no longer serving you. And when I say things, I mean like, again, those rituals, those habits, those daily occurrences that are starting to become boring or starting to become lackluster, that once were great but no longer serve you. So start to look for those and start to let them buzz off, right? And bring in some fresh pollen, bring in some new fertile soil for yourself to grow something new, to make room for something new to grow. So that's what I'm really seeing here, and I think that's how you're getting and forming some of that balance again, is to find that balance again through that. Let's look a little further, though, in that now we are going to look at your relationship message. And so I like to do relationship messages for you all to seek out what it is that you might need to know within your relationships this month. So it could be relationships to yourself or to spirit or guides or others. It can be a romantic one, a platonic one, familial, however you wish. Do feel free to send in the energy of a relationship that you're looking into, or just seek out what is generally coming in for you. And we're going to see, okay, we already got one flying out. I'm going to see if there's anything else though. Feels like there's another one in here. Any more information that we need to know about for group 1? All right, I thought there might be one. I'll give it one more second. But I think mostly we're going to look at this one. So we have, first off, wildflower. Live an uncontrolled life, free to grow anywhere and bound by nothing, or bound to nothing. So we have the wildflower here, as well as move. Okay, very similar. A rolling stone gathers no moss. So this is the idea that like something in your relationships even maybe has become stagnant, right? It could be career, could be family, could be home, could be habits. But for some of you, maybe even in your relationships, things maybe have gotten a little stale. become a little boring, you need to spice it up, whether that's going to a new place when you go out with this person, whether that's creating a new ritual spiritually, whether that is even just giving yourself like solo dates for yourself, right? There's just something showing up here that you need to move or get out of the house or travel somewhere or experience something new for you to be able to kind of grow something new and grow a new wildflower in your path. Wildflowers as well have that wild nature to them, right? And they don't abide by any rules. So it also is just a really fertile time for you to kind of put the rules aside, all these habits, these rituals, these things that you feel like you have to hold on to, and within your relationships, maybe spice it up with something new. So that's what we have showing up for your relationships this month. But now it's time to really target in and really hone in on the Taurus energy. And as a Taurus myself, I love Taurus energy, although it does mean that as a Taurus myself, and if you are a Taurus, happy birthday Tauruses out there, the Taurus energy that comes in, it really brings in stability. Like if you could think of the Knight of Pentacles as a season, this is it. So the Knight of Pentacles being very much a stable, very consistent, like we talked about with consistency, very resourceful kind of person or energy. So I want to see how this resourcefulness, this stable energy is coming into your life, and then we're going to look how it is possibly challenging you as well. So we're going to see both sides of this. First off, because it is an earth sign, I thought why not look into some more earthly energies with some more flowers and florals. So let's see what is coming in most prevalently for Taurus season for group 1 here. Ooh, this one flew right at me. Okay, so let's see. All right, so you got number 51. This is in the winter suit, which is kind of a plateau, stagnant kind of energy just in general with winter. And we have Henbane coming in here. So there is this feeling, I'm seeing these little dripping dewdrops falling on top of this like leadership position that's showing up. It's got sort of this refreshing energy that you get with like, I'm thinking of like that Bambi song where it's like drip drip drop little April showers, that song. Like it feels like this really curious inner child feeling, this very young youthful feeling that's showing up here, but then it's being challenged in the idea that there's these rules, there's this crown here, and it's like we're dripping that away, we're melting that away, we're putting the rule book aside and letting ourselves play around a little bit more. This is making me think of like a little kid who plays in the mud, who creates little wands out of sticks, right? And gets really creative within their mind, in their imagination, putting the rule books aside. They're the adults that grow up and still, belt in the middle of a grocery store, songs or dance anywhere, you know what I mean? Like in the middle of a crowded street. So it's really making me think that like Taurus season is going to teach you and bring you these lessons and this energy to kind of put the rules aside and embrace change from an inner child sort of curious standpoint, which I think is really interesting because, like I said, Taurus can be very stable and also very stubborn. So I want to see if stubbornness shows up at all when it comes to the other card we're going to pull for you here, or if you're going to really embrace this energy. So we're going to see if there's a pull or push. So let's see. We're going to be using these cards, which I thought was perfect because they actually have the Taurus sign on them. My little sister made these cards for me a couple years back, and I love them. Let's see. So we have the Two of Cups here. The Two of Cups is definitely an embrace kind of card. The Two of Cups is very much in line. So I would say that definitely when it comes to Taurus season, you're going to embrace this energy. I very much see that you're going to almost befriend it. It feels like a friendship energy, like you're going to befriend your inner child this month for sure. That inner child that just wants to, run in the mud and, put away the ideas of what an adult has to be, or what however old you are, whatever life stage you are in, putting away the societal rules and letting your little inner child run free in the grass and get grass stains and get, little like dirt all over you. Like, it just really feels like that kind of energy. So before we end off your reading, we're going to pull you some charms, but if you have enjoyed this reading so far, do be sure to give this video a like. It really does help the channel so much. Thank you to everyone who does it. I really do appreciate it. But let's see those last little details here with the charms, and we're going to see what comes in. I'm loving how much balance is coming in, and the idea that you're kind of changing things up a little bit, or finding more balance within your inner child, as well as within this ebb and flow of creative blocks, so that you can get through this boredom that you might be having. So let's see what's coming in further with some bits and bobs here. So do feel free to send your energy in, and let's go. Okay, so I had a couple of other charms fall out over here, so I'm just seeing where they land. And let's zoom you in so you can see a little bit closer. So the one that I felt really called to right off the bat was this one. Like, whatever reason, it popped out. So we have under completion with the 8. That's interesting. So yeah, we have the 8 of cups here, and then we have 8 showing up here again on completion. So these two are definitely combined in the idea that, again, that bumblebee showing up here as a tool in your tool belt. Change things up, complete something, let it rest, let it finish, because something new needs to come in. You need that breath of fresh air, whether that's purging something in your house, whether that's moving through that habit or through that ritual that you've been doing for a very long time and changing it up, whatever it might be that is coming in quite strongly within your reading. We also have here on Henbane the react charm, also next to completion, and the Empress. So here we are with react, and act is, as you can see, in capitals, and then re being in lower. So it makes me think that it's not even just your reaction to something, but also that you're going to be able to react or reenact something. So it makes me think, again, you're reenacting a piece of your childhood, or being able to reconnect with, it doesn't even have to be an inner child, right? It can be your inner teen, it could be your inner young adult, it could be your inner adult. It doesn't matter what life stage it is, but you're reconnecting with that inner part of yourself that is super wild, very free, in whatever life stage that is, but you're being able to kind of reenact those memories or reconnect with that version of yourself, and that is what's coming through quite strongly this season, especially through Taurus. We also have here on the 2 of Cups the top dog charm, which I think is funny. This is all about leadership, reminds me again of that crown, the idea of rules and restrictions. So yeah, we have the top dog charm, and this is following up over here on that challenging card of those blocks, and then that 2 of Cups of embracing or befriending. So I really think that you're going to, again, kind of push back those blocks that are coming in from rules and restrictions, and rather reconnecting with that other part of yourself and finding more love for that little wild piece of you. Other charms that are showing up here, we actually have more of those wildflowers showing up here. This is the spring charm. So whenever I see this, it makes me think of really little budding growth, and that's showing up here with that wildflowers again. We also have the letter Z showing up here, so that might relate to something showing up down here with completion or azalea or the wildflowers again. Also, the 2 of Cups can be a very romantic message, so that might be showing up for some of you with the Z, especially since we have a lot of budding love, and we have the love charm showing up here in another heart. So some of this could be kind of romantic for some of you as well. Again, like I said, some of your relationships may be needing that pep up, because whatever's been going on seems to have been happening for a very long time, because we have the little hourglass in between. This also makes me think of like a time turner in like Harry Potter, so it makes me think again like turning back time, going back to a raw, younger version of yourself, or the way you used to be with someone. You might be reminiscing quite a lot. And then lastly here, the last charm that we have here is the lucky charm of the little lucky ladybug here of Lady Luck. So it really feels like there's this luck on your side this month, and to also look for signs and signals in nature to help guide you this month for sure, because they're going to be showing up within nature for you, especially with the Empress showing up here as well. So those are all of your cards and charms here this month for you, Group 1. I do hope this was useful to you, and if it was, do be sure to give this video a like, and if you found it useful, do feel free to also let me know what you thought in the comments down below. I always love to hear your guys' thoughts. Happy birthday again to any Tauruses out there, and also if you'd like to, do be sure to subscribe as I put out new readings every single Monday. I do monthly readings, 2-week readings, readings in between that are timeless, and I even do educational videos on tarot, charm casting, art magic, and others. So do stay tuned for all of those, or hit the subscribe button. You're also welcome to check out all my offerings down below, as I have lots of beautiful offerings for snail mail readings as well as rainbow earrings, and my Kindred tip jar is down below as well if you want to send anything in for a little bit of support. So thank you so much for being here with me. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hello Group 2, if you've decided to choose this piece of rose quartz as well as these little forget-me-nots, then this is the message we will reveal. So we have here forget-me-nots, and it says remembrance, memories, and the past hold the key. So that is the message that we have going in just to start off your reading, but we're going to obviously look even deeper into your month of May, and we're also going to be looking into Taurus season. So happy birthday to any Tauruses out there. I personally love Taurus season as a Taurus myself, but we're going to go ahead and start looking right on into this. So just off the bat, I'm obviously thinking of remembrance in the ideas of like grief, or the ideas of looking back at nostalgic memories or reconnecting with a piece or a part of yourself. So we're going to see, or even that you're making memories this month, but we're going to see which direction that starts to head as we pull more cards using the charms, as well as several different oracle decks and tarot decks over here. Everything will be listed in the description down below, but let's go ahead and get started here with the Gentle Tarot. So that was perfect. I've got lots of earthy fun decks here because Taurus is an earth sign. So we're going to see what comes in for the month of May here first. So do feel free to send your energy in through time and space, and let's get going. Group 2, what do you have coming in for the month of May? Group 2, Group 2, Group 2. They are trying to fly out like every second, so I'm very curious. I feel like they can't make up their mind. So let's see. I want to look a little further before we pick up that one. Just feel like there's one hiding here. We're going to go ahead and first do this one, I guess. So first off, we have the Two of Wands, which is all about planning, taking your time, considering things. There's a lot about kind of opening your mind and looking a little bit further to a plan or something that you want to put into action, right? So this is about getting the ball rolling, but you're not necessarily at the action stage yet. It's a lot of those planning out the details first. It's the dreaming and fantasizing about what could happen phase. It's really quite a beautiful card in that way. But let's look a little bit further here. So what else is coming in for you for the month of May? Very much that spring energy here in the northern hemisphere. Okay, so we also have the Harvest of Thunder, which is also known as the King of Swords here. But this Harvest of Thunder really likes to consider things as well. There's a lot of consideration here, a lot of planning, a lot of thinking ahead, and not moving too quickly, right? We have someone moving uphill, and they're working like step by step as they move up this hill, right? And making sure to consider each step in your path. That's what really feels right. Like, I feel like you could very easily miss something or not look at all of the details. So especially as you're looking at like important documents this month, or while you're browsing something or about to buy something or about to take action on something, really reconsider it, really look a little bit further, look at the fine details, because there could be something there for you. Because that's what's coming in here first with that Harvest of Thunder. Also, the Harvest of Thunder just has a very intelligent feeling to it. Also a very highly a very just really good communicator, right? So they're just really good at communication, and they can be very clear and concise about things. So that's again why I feel like there's this clarity needed in that planning stage. So let's look at your final cards here. So you also have the Hermit and Strength. So we have it kind of going two different ways. I feel like your energy isn't in one spot this month. Something I want to mention really quick before I move to these two cards is with this Harvest of Thunder, there's something about their posture and them sitting in this little flowery area. What do you call those? Like a little pasture or something. It just feels like they are really taking time to soak in the sun and to remember the moment. And so it's not really about making really big memories this month, but I think that you're going to make really memorable moments and like mindful moments, maybe even getting into meditation or taking time to consider a moment and realize how special it is in retrospect. So there might be conversations that happen this month that are going to seem really mundane in the moment, but down the line or a couple months from now, you're going to be like, wow, I didn't realize how much I loved talking to this person, or how much I enjoyed their company, or how much that meant to me at the time and now in retrospect. So I could see things like that happening this month as well. Other things that are showing up here for your energy, we have, like I said, Strength, and then, which I love, it's like blanketed in this beautiful rainbow, which just feels like inclusive and comfortable and, even defiant in a way. And then we also have like in a rebellious strength, kind of resilient way. And then we have the hermit showing up here with this little fox, kind of just chilling, doing their own thing. So I really think, again, like you're not moving too quickly, especially with this hermit card and strength. Everything really feels like it is kind of coasting or moving, one step at a time and really considering. It really feels clear and concise. And then the hermit showcasing also that you might just really enjoy a little bit of solo independent time. There could be something also with these two coming out together where you're going to be doing a bit of inner work, working on your shadows, working on your self, maybe therapy, or working through things in a journal. Or I just feel like you might have I don't even know if you'll necessarily have breakthroughs this month as much as it is that you're going to have like realizations or noticing certain things that you could continue to work on, right? And making sure that you take your time and you're not trying to make things happen too quickly when it comes to your own personal growth, and that it's a reminder that it's a whole journey and it takes time. There's going to be those ups and downs. But I really feel like you're going to be working through quite a lot of resilience training for yourself, or a lot of strength being regained and remembering how much strength you have in yourself through this planning stage, through taking your time. I think you're going to realize that you're stronger than you think. So I see that coming in as well, by kind of coming in a little bit more independently. This came up in the last pile as well, or last reading that I did with wishes, and this independent kind of energy of like kind of coming up on a life stage where you feel like you really need to take something by the wheel for yourself, and it feels very much an independent journey. So I want to see a little bit further here. I don't want to talk too much on just these 4 cards. So let's see what else we have showing up here. So we're going to look now into a blessing coming in for your month of May. And whenever I pull this out, you can see this as a blessing from the universe, from gods, goddesses, from your spirit guides, angels, however you wish. Or you can also see this as a tool, like a tool that the universe is giving you, a tool that's going to be in your path, that's just going to be really in your favor this month. So let's see what is showing up for you this month of May. Group 2. Ooh, they are, seriously, all of your cards are just very like, they're trying to give me more than one. So you guys, there either is a lot of you who chose this pile, or just some sort of energy in between there. Okay. Ooh, interesting. So you have Grandmother Tornado Uprising. And then right below it, I also felt called to this card. We also had Grandmother Spiral with Wisdom. So I'm going to look at both of them. Like I said, we've got a lot of cards showing up here today. But all of the cards we've had so far, like steady, take your time, one step at a time, kind of feeling. And then we get the tornado, which is very much a very chaotic energy, right? It's one of the destruction grandmothers in this deck. And so it says here, Grandmother Tornado Uprising. It says, indignant whirlwind, revolving revolution, leveling the field, number 65. And then you also have here the Grandmother Spiral with Wisdom. And it says, lean into the curve, each turn unlocks the knowing, wound around your core, with the number 30. So I'm really getting, these are very different energies, right? On one side where I'm really feeling called, I almost feel like it's like, I feel like your whole reading has been kind of divided in these two different piles here, where you have one side really showing that slow, steady pace, taking your time, planning, considering things out. And that's coming in with this idea that the spiral, is taking time, following one path. If you guys have ever looked into labyrinths as well, it's like you can't get the path wrong when you go one step at a time and you consider every step on your way. And then the idea of wisdom showing up here too, in the idea that like it's not your first time doing this thing. It feels like it's not your first rodeo doing whatever it is that you're feeling called to plan and move forward on or make these new memories within. So I feel like this one seems pretty self-explanatory in the idea that like the spiral, the idea of spiraling in, spiraling out, or unlocking knowledge by taking one step at a time and slowing down is showing up. But then this Grandmother Tornado is showing a completely different story with the idea of that strength card. And like I said earlier, I feel like some of you are going on a solo mission or a solo path to build resilience. And I feel like the universe is going to be like, okay, I'm going to show you something that's going to be kind of challenging for you, where it's going to give you kind of like a hardship on purpose in order for you to grow. So I really do think that you're going to have some challenges that are going to show up as opportunities for you to grow this month, especially with this tornado, right? It says leveling the field too, which makes me think too that like it's leveling a knowledge about yourself that you always thought too, and kind of leveling that back out. So maybe there's a part of your identity that's leveling out, or maybe there's a part of yourself that just needs to be resurfaced and reevaluated this month, so that you can kind of have that new strength show up. So I just feel like there's something new that you're going to be learning about yourself and really growing and working on this month that's going to come from a challenge or a lesson that's going to show up for you. So keep an eye out on this one for sure. There might be a fear that you're going to overcome this month. It could just be something that you've been working on already, that you're already aware of. But I do see you like rising above it. So that's really exciting. Even if you're going to have to go through a little bit to get to the gold at the end of the rainbow, you know what I mean? So with that in mind, let's go ahead and look at your relationship message for the month. So I always like to do a relationship message for you guys each month. And this can be on any kind of relationship in your life. So this can be familial, romantic, a friendship. It can also be, with yourself or with spirit or however you wish. But do feel free to send that energy in or just generally see what comes up. But let's see what's coming in here for the month of May and Taurus season for you when it comes to a relationship or your relationships this month. So we have change. As with the falling leaves, embrace change. So I really think that there could be a change that's really going to be, again, like that uprising feeling. Maybe it's related to your relationships or, again, to yourself. Like I said, this card can also just be a card to showcase your relationship to yourself. And I think some bigger inner changes are really needed this month, and that you're going to really grow through quite a few of those. On the other side, though, this could just mean that there are changes happening within relationships in your life. Maybe someone is moving up in a life stage, and thus that means you have to kind of change your relationship with them. Someone moving, someone growing up. There could be lots of different reasons why change is coming in, but just see those changes that organically are showing up within your relationships, and see how you can really utilize those or be more mindful of those this month, to better communicate or be more aware of the relationships in your life. So we're going to pop that one over here by your forget-me-not, especially since we had remembrance as well, right? There could be some changes happening as well in how you even maybe remembered someone, and how maybe your memory of who someone might have been has changed this month as well. I can see some reevaluations on that. With that said, let's go ahead and pull your Taurus messages now. So as a Taurus myself, my birthday is actually going to be in the weekend between when this is filmed and when this goes up on the 21st. So I definitely am at the cusp, but I am a Taurus through and through. So Taurus season is, in a nutshell, basically, if you could think of the Knight of Pentacles as a season, I feel like this is that. Right, so the Taurus energy that could be coming in for you could be things like reliability, stability, taking those steps, right, and being very resourceful, as well as a bit of stubbornness and a resistance to change happens a lot within Taurus season. So I want to see not only what is coming in for you for Taurus season, but also maybe the lessons that you'll learn through that and your attitude towards, or your approach towards that energy, which will make more sense as we go on. So let's go ahead and pull you the energy of Taurus season for you. And we're going to look here with the Seed and Sickle Oracle, which I think is perfect for this season. It's just got all these beautiful botanicals and flora. There we go. Group 2. Ooh, I never know how to say this. This specific flower. I always say it wrong, and so anyway, clematis, clementis, I have no idea, but regardless, it is number 22, and that is the flower that you've received here, which is all about, again, that taking one step at a time, but because it is a vine growing kind of I don't know if it's a vine, but it's a climbing plant. So this plant really likes to climb up walls or try to get to the best position possible for it. So if you think of any flower that's going to try to put itself and be the most resourceful, they're going to use everything that they can to have the best position possible, the best quality of light, the best soil, the best water. They think very thoroughly about where they're planted. So if you think about that in terms of Taurus season, I feel like the main word that's showing up for me for you is resourcefulness. I think you're going to be more resourceful, right, when it comes to like Google searches and planning and taking that intelligence side, and then also realizing how many strengths and how resourceful you already are through these uprisings, through this lesson that the universe is kind of giving you at this time as well, and even the resourcefulness to move through change. So I really see resourcefulness being the main word that I'm getting here for you for the month, or for Taurus season. But I also want to look into a little bit more here with this Taurus deck, even from the Star Sisters Tarot. This was actually made as a homemade deck from my sister. And I want to see what is coming in terms of like how you're approaching this resourcefulness. Is it going to be something that you're going to feel really stubborn about and not utilize? Or is it going to be something you really embrace? So we're going to see how that's showing up for you for Taurus season group 2. How are you feeling about this resourcefulness? Okay. So we got 2 different cards. We have both the 8 of Cups and then also here the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune all about change, and the 8 of Cups always about change. So I really think that you're up for the changes that are going to be in your path this month for sure, which is very exciting to see, right? Because you have these opportunities for change coming in, not only in your relationships, not only in what you're planning, but also in personal growth. So this is a really fertile time for you to be really getting some beautiful new change in your life, to really taking on some opportunities, to seeking a bit of discomfort in that, to grow at a better place for you. So I really see you taking on resourcefulness in a really beautiful way. And yeah, not much else to be said there. Let's go ahead and pull you those charms to finish off your reading. So do feel free to send your energy in through time and space, and let's see what charms show up for you this month. Oh, and also, if you've been enjoying the reading so far, do be sure to give this video a like. It really does help the channel so much, and I really do appreciate it, so thank you. But let's see, group 2. Okay, so I didn't have a lot of charms showing up for you, but I had a lot of specific ones throwing themselves out. And this one even got caught around my finger, so I felt like it just needed to be there. So let's start with this one. This one is all about spirals, right? I actually think of this as a spiral in my charms. It represents cycles to continue, cycles that are very healthy or very useful to you, where I have some charms where it's about breaking cycles. This is about healthy cycles in your life, or taking one step at a time, unfurling, kind of like a slinky, moving up that spiral staircase. You're taking one step at a time. So I feel like we talked quite a lot on that, but it's definitely a very healthy thing for you, especially since we also have the patterns charm showing up here as well, which makes me think again of like a continued pattern or a continued cycle in your life that is still very useful to you. So I do see you being a very resourceful person when it comes to planning this month. Other things showing up here, we have the Taurus season showing up here with the love charm. Sorry, I've got like a hair over here, but we have the love charm, but this is love being locked off, right? So this is a little lock, and we don't have any keys showing up here. Although, if you read, which one was it? Each turn unlocks the knowing. So something about learning or leaning into this curve or allowing yourself to kind of unlock another piece of yourself. You're going to also gain a lot more love and respect for yourself as well, and maybe feel like you deserve more or feel like you have a little bit more respect for yourself again. Like, I feel like you're to just gain a little bit of that realization of how strong you really are is showing up here again, and that's going to come through this new path that you're taking over here, as well as this challenge and opportunity showing up. And when it comes to this tornado, we also have the travel charm. So I think in a very literal sense, something that needs to be said is just, if you are traveling this month, to be very weather aware and also to really consider that when it comes to your planning. But other things that are showing up here just in general that I'm getting here is just that, like, be kind of prepared that things aren't always going to go perfect, or your plans are going to get a little bit turned around. Like I said, you're very resourceful enough. I know I've said that a billion times here, but you're very you're clever enough to get around them. But that is showing up here as well. So something about this is just making me feel like I need to turn it, which I don't think I've ever had that before, but it just makes me think again, be very weather aware. Not that it's going to be a tornado, but just be very weather aware this month as well. So with everything said, that is your pile here at group 2. I had a lot to say. We had a lot of cards, extra cards showing up here, so hopefully this one isn't too long. But if you did enjoy this reading, do be sure to give this video a like and let me know in the comments down below how it resonated. Again, happy birthday to any Tauruses out there for your Taurus season. And also, do be sure to subscribe if you'd like to, because I put out new readings every single Monday for not only these monthly readings, but also weekly to week readings with the charms. And I do other timeless readings like your wishes coming true and more on self-growth and empowerment. So if you're interested in any or all of that, do be sure to subscribe. And also, if you'd like to look into the offerings I have this month, the Kindred tip jar is down below as always. If you want to send anything in, it goes right back into the channel, so I really do appreciate anything sent in there. But you can also check out the snail mail readings that I have down below for private readings that I send to you in the mail. And also you can check out the rainbow earrings that I'm making for Pride. So if you want to get those, they're made to order. So I'd like to be able to get them done as soon as possible for you so that you can have them for Pride Month or whenever Pride is for you. So do feel free to check all of that out down below. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. But thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hello group 3, if you've decided to choose this piece of hematite or hematite, then this is the pile for you. We also have your secret message of African violet here, which we are now going to reveal. So here we are with African violet, and it is spirituality. It's time to connect with what you believe. So there's a lot about beliefs, fundamental core beliefs that might be shaking up, changing, or being revisited this month. So I really want to see what's coming in for that as we move on further. So we're going to go ahead and set it here and see what else is going to come in with the rest of your cards, because we are going to be playing around with both the charms and several different oracle decks, as well as 2 different tarot decks. I really felt really called to pull pull several different decks out for you guys. So we're going to be playing around with quite a few here. But do be sure to check all of that out down below if you want to see what specific decks I have here. I'll have it all listed down below. But do feel free to get yourself cozy and comfy for this reading, especially since we're going to be talking about not only May and the blessings and beautifulness that might be coming in for you, but also for Taurus season, which is all about taking things slow and having a little moment here. So do feel free to get yourself cozy, get yourself comfy, get a little snack or a nice blanket, and we're going to start looking into your month of May. So we're going to pull 3 different cards to look into the energy of May, and then we'll continue even further into the blessings, relationship messages, as well as Taurus season. Happy birthday to any Tauruses out there as well. As a Taurus myself, I just love the season, clearly. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I don't want to ramble here too long. So let's see, group 3. So we have here, first off, the 4 of Stone showing up, but it kind of flew out quite aggressively, so it makes me feel like there's this protectiveness that's showing up here with the 4 of Stones. The 4 of Stones talks about, like, as you can see, this person's kind of looking around, kind of trying to suss people out, trying to make sure that everything's good, trying to keep what they have very safe, right? And I think there's nothing wrong with safety. I don't think there's anything wrong with keeping things safe or watching over things, but there can be a part of this card that can showcase, right, that we are overprotective or we can be overly cautious. So I want to see what's showing up here with the 4 of Stones here and how that's relating to the rest of your month of May. So let's see a little bit further. As always, do be sure to send your energy in through time and space so I can really connect with you individually as we move through this. So we also have the 8 of Cups, which is a very different energy. It has that same feeling of that kind of making sure you don't go too far energy, because the 8 of Cups is about, if you imagine all of these cups representing your emotional fulfilledness, and then you're walking away from them, it just showcases that something isn't fulfilling you anymore, that you need to walk away from something, or there's something that just no longer serves you, usually an emotional relationship, a conversation, a type of emotional tether towards something that just no longer is serving you. It doesn't fulfill you. It doesn't fill your heart space anymore. It doesn't make you feel good to be around this person, situation, place. And the 4 of Stones is showcasing this protectiveness, almost needing to protect yourself all the time, protecting your energy all the time, making sure that you have to protect your emotions all the time. There's something about that I feel like you have a mask up this month, where you're feeling very protective of yourself because there's something that is kind of toxic or is creating this barrier. So I want to see what else there is showing up here for you, group 3, for the month of May. Group 3. What do we got coming in here? Okay. And then we also have the 7 of Thunder. Yeah, definitely some sort of masking, putting on a front, putting on a face, putting on some sort of bravado or another version of yourself to protect yourself. It's not coming from a insecure place or coming from a overcompensating place. It comes from a protecting yourself space, because here we have the 7 of Thunder, which represents kind of withholding information, keeping information hidden, or having hidden secrets or something like that. So I really feel like there's something showing up here of you feeling the need to kind of protect yourself or keep yourself, kind of, I don't know, it just feels like you need to stay in your shell for some reason. And it doesn't feel like it's because you want to. It feels like there's an external reason. So maybe you have a relative coming back into your life, a friend, someone who is making you feel like you can't be your vulnerable self, you can't be your full self with someone, maybe because they can be kind of a bully, they can be toxic family members or friends. There could be, just something that just doesn't make you feel very good. When you're just around someone, they just kind of make you feel the ick, or they make you feel kind of just not good, right? Or just not like you can be your full self. That's what's showing up here. And I really feel like you're having to put on airs or put on this persona or put on some sort of mask around them. And it sounds exhausting, honestly. So I'm very curious to see what else is showing up here. So we're going to go ahead and move on to your blessing for the month. So when I look at these cards, I think especially with what you have showing up here, I want to see not only is what the universe is giving to you this month as a blessing from spirit guides or some sort of spiritual side, right? Because we do have spirituality showing up here. I just remembered that actually. So for some of you, it also could be that this is what you're having to do is mask your spiritual self, especially when it comes to like maybe being around certain people who have a different religion or spiritual sense or some sort of version of themselves around you. I could see that also kind of butting heads this month. So that could be something to keep in mind. But I want to see this not only for the blessing that's coming in from spirit guides or from gods, goddesses, however you wish, but also looking at this as like a tool that is coming in and is going to be most in your favor this month. So thinking of it as an energetic tool most in your favor. So let's see what tool is showing up for you for the month of May. Group 3. Ooh, okay, so we have Grandmother Peppermint. And I might be pulling another one of these because I kind of feel like there could be more than one, but we'll see. But we have Grandmother Peppermint with Reset, which I really like that idea of. It's not just like refresh, but literally resetting everything, putting things back. We have Aromatic Lift, Expand Your Inside Senses, Inhale and Exhale Love, with the number 4 showing up here. So we have another 4. So we have 4 showing up here in terms of numbers, in case that resonates for you, as well as 7 and 8. Grandmother Peppermint is all about refreshing, kind of, I almost am seeing like this aura around the plant, which is making me think too like a protective aura. So if some of you are very magical or spiritual, you could also be putting some sort of protective charms around yourself, wearing some sort of protective jewelry, or using certain words or affirmations before you're around these people to remind yourself, of your true self, so that you don't feel like you have to put on such airs. But I also think just when you've been around these people or these situations that are making you feel like you have to mask or hold yourself back, that if it isn't safe for you to be able to have a real conversation about it or be able to reset sort of the situation, then at least when you are in your own space, when you feel comfortable, or when you're around people that you can feel really supported, making sure to reset, making sure to ground back down, making sure to kind of let the day, when like people come in from work and they just stay in their work clothes and they're grumpy all night and they don't feel good, and, like literally take, a shower or change your clothes, put things aside, literally ground yourself back into your reality, take the mask off, for better words here. And I really see that showing up here, is that's going to be a really good strength for you, or a tool that you could really utilize this month. I really do feel like there might be another one in here, so I'm going to go ahead and pull you one more. I really feel like there's another one, so do feel free to send your energy in. There it is. So we also have, so it definitely feels like possibly a family member or something related to a relationship in your life, because we have here Grandmother Poppy Lineage, and it says, "Those who came before paved the way for you to bloom. Give thanks, do the same," with the number 51. So it could be that, again, these are the people that are going to be, again, really in your favor this month. You might actually have people who are in your favor, or people you can be around that are very supportive, your chosen family, or it could just be that's not all family members, right? But it does seem like someone in your lineage, or I'm also getting the idea of like a belief system or a religious system that's always been kind of in your life because of the people that you're around and things. It could also be very challenging to be around this month as well, because maybe you're kind of defiant against it, or you have sort of another version of how spirituality exists in your life in comparison to theirs, and you might be challenging the script there. But I do see that whatever it was before isn't fulfilling anymore, so I could see that showing up as well. But I really do see that you're resetting that lineage, you're resetting that line, you're resetting regurgitated information that's been down your family line for a lot. You're really definitely breaking some of those barriers, breaking down toxic or harmful belief systems. I can definitely see you really breaking down some narratives and some beliefs and foundations down your lineage and down your your family and those that are very much just in your life, whether you like it or not. So I really do see that that's showing up here as well, belief systems being challenged, and that can be a really good thing, right? These are blessings in your path. This is a good thing. It's not telling you that you should retreat back, right? It's telling you to reset. It's telling you to continue to go after what is now fulfilling for you. And maybe that it's going to take time for them to come around, or it's not really about them at all and it's your own path. But I do see that they're definitely a part of that narrative. So let's see what else we have showing up here, especially since we've talked about so much on relationships. We're going to actually look into a relationship message here, like I like to do monthly. So do feel free to send your energy in through time and space on a specific message that you're looking for with a specific relationship. So it could be a relationship to yourself, to a family member, to a friend, can be with a god, goddess, or some sort of spiritual side of yourself, or even another relationship in your life. So we're going to see how those are showing up here for you group 3. Okay, so we have 2 different ones. The first one being persevere, leave no stone unturned. This one feels like you're going to be, especially since if you looked at this card, right, they're kind of holding all of that's the 4 of stones, right? So they have all these stones, all their ducks in order, and they're trying to protect them. And so when I look at this little pile of stones, it makes me again feel like you have to not only persevere, but like preserve yourself, right? So I'm really getting this feeling that like you're having to persevere, you're having to reset certain generational trauma or generational belief systems that are just not really working for you, right? It's just not your jam. It's not your thing. It can be theirs. There can be respect there, but maybe you're not feeling the respect from their end. So I see that showing up here, that someone might be needling away and trying to like uncover things that you just don't really want them picking their nose into. We also have breathe, which makes me think again of that resetting, like taking your work clothes off, taking, like, after you've been at an outing with these types of people or in these situations, really like, taking the ick off basically, and kind of resetting your space through breath or through meditation. So it says here, breathe, slow down and contemplate the tea, violets and ivy tangled around the eaves. So a cup of tea could be really helpful in resetting as well for you, or even opening up conversations, maybe through a beverage or through a dinner or through food in some way is showing up here too. Definitely a little bit more heavy your pile, so if you need to breathe or take a breath, that's totally fine as well, to pause or come back to this if need be. But let's go ahead and see your Taurus season messages. So let's revert away from some of the May messages and now look at Taurus season, which Taurus season, as a Taurus myself, and again, happy birthday to any Tauruses out there, it's all about dependability. Like I mentioned this in all of the other 2 piles, but basically if you could put Tauruses into a card, I really feel like they would be the Knight of Pentacles, and the idea that they're very dependable, reliable, but they can also be quite stubborn and resistant to change. They're very consistent, they're very friendly, they take their time. So I want to see how that's showing up for you in terms of what is showing up for you for Taurus season, and then how you maybe are feeling about Taurus season emotionally. So let's start out first with what flora is showing up here for you for Taurus season, to represent Taurus season for you. Okay, verbena. Wow, okay. So this one is really interesting because it is a very collaborative card, and I find it interesting as well because when I did your cards here, I don't remember when it happened. Yeah, the 3 of Stones tried to fall out as well, which is very similar to the 3 of Stones or the 3 of Pentacles, and that it's about having 3 different people or a community of people or a family of people coming together respectfully with different beliefs, different foundations, different viewpoints, and yet still respecting and celebrating the differences, respecting the diversity there. And so the idea that that's showing up here is showcasing that there can be an option or an availability or an opportunity showing up here for you to maybe be able to, again, like I said, leave no stone unturned. I feel like for some people in your life, I don't feel like it's everyone, but some people who might be challenging these beliefs spiritually that you have, or other beliefs fundamentally, generationally, down your lineage. I feel like there are some people who are open to turning that around, are open to maybe seeing your point of view, or open to kind of seeing a change in the script and being less judgmental, or coming from it from a place of respect, or trying to find common ground. I think that could be really your strength here, and taking it slow, using that Taurus energy of very slow, being very cautious, but still putting in quite a lot of effort for it. There is something showing up there with the idea that there could be someone who might be coming around this month, but you have to take it very slow, cautiously, over a cup of tea or something like that. But I want to see how you're maybe feeling about the idea of doing something like that, and how this is an opportunity showing up for you for Taurus season, but maybe you're not feeling up to it. So we're going to see how that's showing up for you, group 3, for Taurus season. Okay, let's see what you have here. Okay, so you got the Hierophant here, which is probably one of the most stubborn cards in the deck. It is the most traditional card. It represents tradition. It represents foundations, very traditional foundations. So I really think, again, that you're having to kind of challenge that script. I really think not only I feel like you have already challenged it for yourself, but maybe that is also coming up this month, like a lot of you having to challenge that, your belief systems, having to challenge your spirituality, and then again also having to protect yourself to challenge, because just in and of itself, by you doing so, you're also challenging possibly other people whom you respect in your life, or other people who you look up to, or something like that. I just feel like there is the opportunity for someone to kind of change their mind, whether that's yourself or someone else, but there is this traditional energy showing up here quite heavily. So I really feel like, again, at the end of the day, if you want to change these generational beliefs, foundational beliefs spiritually, whatever it might be, that it's up to you at the end of the day, regardless of what anyone else thinks. And I really see that showing up here, that it's not really about them. Even though we've talked about them a lot, or the situation a lot, at the end of the day, if you aren't feeling fulfilled anymore in the spiritual, religious belief, or generational belief, or something like that you're challenging, then it's worth challenging it, because it doesn't serve you anymore. And we have to look after ourselves first and foremost. So that's really what I'm seeing here so far for your cards, but let's go ahead and finish off with your charms here to see what else is showing up. You have a very open-ended reading for sure, so I'm curious to see what shows up here. But if you have enjoyed the reading so far, do be sure to give this video a like. It really does help the channel so much, so thank you. But let's go ahead and pull these charms. So do feel free to send your energy in, and let's see the little bits and bobs left for your month of May. Okay, so we have a few different charms. Let's see. So we have a couple of different charms showing up here that I find really interesting. First off, this one was rolling kind of all around, like along this edge. And it is the heart chakra, the heart space within the charms, or within chakras. So I always see this as well as like really having to follow your heart, what you emotionally need, your emotional needs. And also, we don't talk about it enough, but I feel like this center within our body is also very much related to our spiritual side, right? What we want spiritually is also very much related to what our heart wants. And so that's showing up here quite a lot for you, is that you're going after what your heart truly feels, and connecting it to your spirituality, versus like this higher up feeling of spirituality and like just following the rules or following what everyone else does, whether your heart believes it or not. And I see that showing up here as well, because we have the heart showing up here once again on lineage of the poppy, and it relates to like singing your own song, following your own tune, listening to your own heart, right? And so that's showing up here again, and the idea to really listen to your heart and what your heart needs, versus other people's needs around you. We have more of that masking energy of kind of saving face or trying to keep up a certain reputation or a certain identity around certain people. So that's showing up here again. And then you also have a few charms showing up here with the paperclip. This paperclip, or sorry, not paperclip, safety pin. So this is about wanting to be safe or finding safety. And so again, I feel like there could be someone this Taurus season to explore, because there might be someone who is also challenging these things, who again leave no stone unturned. I feel like there's someone turning a stone over, and maybe you could connect with this person at this time. So there could be someone who seemed judgmental or seemed like they wouldn't understand, that is also turning at the same time as you, because there seems to be a safe space there. We also have on the reset charm, the penny. This is 1995, so this can be relating to like a lucky penny or picking up a lucky penny or something like that. So again, resetting your space being a very lucky thing for you as well, or it could bring in a lot of safety or more open communication. And then lastly here we have the spiral or cycles charm. So again, it feels like something about like letting go of the cycles of the day, letting them come to rest and resetting those cycles, and breaking those cycles. So we have a lot of things showing up here for you, group 3. I would definitely recommend, this also showed up as well. We have the letter H, in case that resonates for anyone. But I would definitely take your time, maybe journal on some of this, see how it's coming in for you, because we definitely went a lot of different directions. But that is your month of May and Taurus season. If you did enjoy this reading, do be sure to give this video a like and let me know in the comments down below how it resonated for you. I'd love to hear your thoughts. You're also welcome to subscribe if you haven't already, as I put out new videos like this one, as well as 2-week readings and timeless readings for your own growth and empowerment, and educational videos every single Monday. So do be sure to check out everything I already have, as well as subscribe. And if you haven't already, do be sure to check out the offerings I have down below. They really help to support this space and keep it running. And you're welcome to check out the Kindred tip jar as well. The Kindred tip jar, everything that goes in there goes straight back into the channel. So I really do appreciate anything for that, for new decks and supplies, and to keep this place going. And I have snail mail readings as well as earrings that you can get for Pride. So lots of different offerings, lots of fun things to check out. And yeah, I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.